If you design your thumbnails really well, then more people click on your videos, that's a fact. But how do you do that? Well, you have to break the pattern. To understand what I mean by breaking the pattern, let's have a look at a few thumbnails. Here for woodworking, for example, you see a few videos that rank alongside each other. So those videos are competing with each other for the click from the user. Which one would you click? Well, frankly, they all look quite similar, right? So most likely none of the videos win the click more often than the other ones. Actually, it's quite interesting if we look into another field, Legos for example. Here you see again, the thumbnails look really similar. Or book reviews. Here, similar again. Acoustic covers, very similar. Comic books, similar as well. That's by the way a good example why those thumbnails look so similar. Because all those videos are reviewing a certain comic book, it is natural that they use the drawings from that comic. But that's not always the case. Makeup tutorials for example. There's actually no reason why all should look so similar. But showing product and their faces apparently works well for them. So most of them do it this way. Here we have an example where the thumbnails of course look similar to the Minecraft game. And here we have painting tutorials. All very similar, and of course Bob Ross shouldn't be missing. For videos about nail polish, of course show the nails. And here we have videos about playgrounds for kids, which of course are very colorful because they are built this way. So as you can see, wherever we look, videos about similar topics tend to have very similar thumbnails. And that is the pattern I'm talking about, which you can then break in order to win the click. For example, let's look at woodworking videos again. Here, all 5 videos look very similar, but this one breaks the pattern. It just shows the machine and this intriguing red cross. I bet many viewers want to know what this red cross is about and click the video. Or let's look at Legos. All again, like the Lego product, very similar. But this one is something different. What? We fry a Lego egg in a pan? As you can see, it's not only visually different than the others, it's also about the story it will tell. Something intriguing that wins the click. Book reviews. Here they usually show the pile of books they've read in this month. But here we have something different. Presented in a different way, and also it's easier to see which books this video is about. Alright, acoustic covers. Usually we see those singers in their studio or at home. But how about playing a song outside for once? These thumbnails have a lot going on, like the comic book all those videos are about. But this one just shows an actress from the respective movie. Here another example about makeup tutorials, and this one introduces humor. Something unique for a change. Again, some thumbnails that look a lot like the Minecraft game, with one that completely looks different, even though it's also about Minecraft. Here we have beautiful paintings, with this one clearly sticking out because of its layout. And finally nail polish videos that show off the polishes. Here comes my best example that breaks the pattern. Here you go. Wow, what a difference, right? It still shows off the nail polish, so it's intriguing for people to click, but it is visually so different that it truly breaks the pattern. Alright, if we look at all thumbnails that I showed you that break the pattern, they have one thing in common. They usually have less going on. Because put yourself in the shoes of the viewer. They look at your thumbnail just for a split second, and you have the best chance to win their click by having a thumbnail that is visually very unique and also decluttered, so that it really just takes a split second to play its intrigue. You can make your thumbnails much more powerful by breaking the pattern. Go ahead and study the common thumbnail style of your niche and let me know what you learn along the way in the comments. Cheers my friends!